If you're under 30 and you're lost, let me explain to you why you need to love what you do. A lot of people are confused about burnout and don't realize that if you love it, you can't burn out. Love's important, and when I think about love from the framework of like, you love what you do, you want to be successful, you're ambitious. You know, I like breaking down the letters, and I do think learning is huge. I think the L in love, learning is underrated. I don't think people, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze, keep this in, don't edit it. For all the people that come from the part of the world that I come from, you know that I'm onto something, because that sneeze means what I'm about to say is true. I think the reason I tell so many people to be admins or interns for the CEO is get close to the sun. You both have felt this. You especially have felt this, Sid. I just think you learn so much. You know, I think the best piece of advice I could give somebody 22 to 28 is go work somewhere for somebody who's a juggernaut in what you want to be. Who gives a fuck how much you make? Fucking live shitty, because those 3-4 years you'll be set up, especially if you're good. So I think learning is huge. I constantly am learning. I'm obsessed with it. It's why I'm always listening. I'm always trying to learn what humans care about of the moment, right? It's like, I'm doubling down here, folks. Learning and observing is basically the same shit for me, which is like, pay attention. Like why? Curiosity is such a fucking powerful framework. I'm always observing. I'm doing it right now. Show what I'm watching right now. I'm literally watching this keynote with no sound that I'm about to give, but I'm watching how the audience is reacting, and I'm literally observing, learning, and it's gonna affect how I talk, literally, in an hour. And so always watch, like, be curious. Like, if you're into selling stuff to the consumer, when you're on an airplane, watch how people board. What are they looking at? When you're like, you know, at a restaurant, like, pay attention. Like, I watch how people look at menus. Like, just observe, watch, learn, observe. Those first 2 letters of love, you're setting yourself up in a huge way. Bringing value, the V, early on comes in a lot of shapes and sizes. For a lot of kids early on, it's just about outgrinding everybody else, right? Like what you have at 23 is energy. What you have is you're living humbly. What you have is you don't have a family normally at 23. Obviously some people start early, but you have tenacity, you have humility, you have grit. The unstoppable nature of 18 to 30 is nothing to lose, everything to gain. Your expenses have not come up yet from a place of like providing for 4 kids and a spouse. So you have the ability to provide value in your humility. But you might have value in different ways. You might work for a company that is marketing to 15 to 25 year olds, and you should have a substantially better pulse on that. Given that you're in that demo and around that demo. You might have grown up in a family that is incredibly into architecture, and you work in a company that's doing architecture, so you might be skilled. Shit, at 22 I know everything about wine. Or not really, but fuckloads. And so trying to find ways that you can provide value is very, very important. And I think grit and really grind and hustle, like those are big things. And so, but there might be different ways you can provide value, like taking notes or cleaning out someone's inbox or supporting them in a different way. So there's just a lot of ways, and it could be very highbrow because you're just a genius like that, or it could be very humble and you just need someone around you needs that grunt work. And just try to find value, observe your situation and figure out what someone's not doing that the boss or the leader wants, not what you want. Biggest mistake that people do with value is they try to provide something that they want to provide that isn't valuable to the decision maker. Value is based on what they want, not what you want to give. And finally, E, boy, do we like to talk. We have fallen in love with the posture. People love to act successful. People like to talk about what they're gonna. Fucking, I'm gonna is like one of my least favorite 2-word combos to start a sentence. How about instead of saying I'm gonna, you shut the fuck up and do, and then tell everyone I did. You know what's a lot better than I'm gonna? I did. And so, execution will be forever the vulnerability of so many of you. Execution is what almost everybody tries to avoid. Boy, do they try to avoid it. It's hard. It's work. People want the trophies. They don't want the practice. And so, love. That's how I break it down.